Greetings, beautiful soul family. This is Tarun Hari coming back after a long, well deserved break. Yes, I needed a break. We needed a break. It has just been so ton up. 2025 has seen such an exasperating rate of change. Trying to keep up is one thing, being ahead of the curve is another thing. And even, everything that we predicted literally has come to pass. Everything that has, what would you call, put a concept of examination. How do we perceive growth? What is the importance of growth? What is the importance of change? And it has become so clear and so apparent. We started the academy earlier on this year, and the academy is really centered around future proofing. And that within itself has become the statement of the year. Why is it important to future proof whatever it is that you're about? And coming off of this break, when I say I'm tired, I've never been so exhausted. October was a phenomenal month. I don't think I've moved so much in such a long time. Done literally 3 retreats back to back, in and out of the country. Also receiving the award, the Charles Gordon Trust London Community Excellence Award for Health and Wellbeing, Nexus Essentia. October was just so packed, and that final retreat with the Parkinson's disease, my word, I have to do a too much to talk about episode on just that to let you know all the details, specifically how that went, because it was absolutely mind-blowing in terms of the outcomes, the formulas that we put together, how we want to expand on this and make this more available for more people in this condition. But would we do it again in the way how we done it, in the manner that we get done it? I don't think so. I really don't think so. Only because, doing it for the first time, you're going to come across the challenges, you're going to come across the territory. And even down to the first day when I arrived, I've got standards. We've got standards. Normally, when we do solo retreats, you come to us. We set the scenario. You're coming into an environment, whether it's a solo or a group retreat. Now, when you're going to someone else's premises, now this gentleman has got Parkinson's disease, and it's not just mild. He was like really 10 years diagnosed, laced with medication, literally frozen. Most of the times he's still, he just can't move. He can't move. His body is totally reliant on carers. It's only, he has a very small window of where the medicine is actually beneficial for him to actually move. But the sluggishness of his movements brings him to a space of incontinence. He can't hold his bladder or anything. Anything can happen at any time. Now, when we went to his premises the first day, I'm going to give you a story before I even talk about that, just to show you what I'm like. There was one time I had some friends come over to Portugal to come and see us. We went down to Portimao to a restaurant, and this restaurant, I was really boasting about the food, and I know the food is really good in there. Seaside restaurant, very good close friend of mine. And we've gone in the restaurant, and I could see that and smell that it wasn't up to par. It's late summer, probably the night before, the last few nights before they've had hundreds of thousands of people, maybe been at the back end of Afro Nations. I can't remember, but it was a really hot, smuggy summer time period. And I could just smell BO. I could just smell BO. And I was like, Plus, on top of that, we're sitting next to an open space. So the fact that there's we can see the sea, there's open, there's no windows. We shouldn't be smelling bo so strong. Anyway, I've asked the cleaner to come and clean the place, and he's coming and he's just wiped the table mats. And I said to him, no, don't you do the tables and the chairs and that? He said, yeah, yeah, but we don't really do just clean the mats at the end of the day. I said, well, I've got guests, so I want to give them a good impression. And, they were like, it's all right. And I wasn't all right with it. I went to the supermarket and I went and bought the top of the range cleaner, whether it's Jif, this, that, the other. What's the most strongest one, the best one, even the most expensive? I don't care. I want the one that is going to do the job. Gone back to the restaurant. Letitia's looking at me like, what are you doing? He gone, what are you doing? Don't worry. I've gone back to the restaurant. I've asked them for a bowl of water. They're looking at, can I have a bowl of water, please? I just want to wipe down the thing. Please, can I have a bowl of water? They finally give me a bowl of water. So I've started cleaning the table and everything. You want the dirt and the smoke will come out. After me clean the table, right, the chairs, I've cleaned the chairs. Can I get a bucket? Can I start cleaning the chair? Then I start cleaning the wall. And I said, hold on, you do know that these products are coming off the bill. You do know this, don't you, at this stage? Yeah, 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 yeah. My friend, like, yeah, 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 yeah. So I'm cleaning, cleaning, cleaning. Now, this is while there's people in the restaurant. And you can now smell the freshness of my part wafting and drifting around the rest of the restaurant. And I'm like, shh. And they look at me, boy, that boy, that. Says, all right, now I can sit down. It took me about, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes in total. But the cleanliness, I'm very, so even a little mess sometimes I won't, but from my nose start pick up things and all of them things there. I'm like, hold on, no, sir, I can't work on this, I can't work on this. I'm already allergic to oranges. If I smell an orange, I'm gonna get migraines and all sorts of stuff. So I'm very olfactory sensitive, and so just that level of cleanliness I needed to establish so I can sit down and eat with my friends and so forth. We had a wonderful experience after eat. We had, I think we ordered, must have double, we had a good meal. I think we ordered sea bass and then they ordered it again and so forth because the food was really good. Now, even in that time when I done it, all the staff got pulled up. The manager pulled them in the office and they got a roasting. They really got a roasting because I wasn't just cleaning. I was saying, I was highlighting, health and safety standards, this and that. This is a public space. You don't need to be a little bit more mindful. I wasn't just doing like, oh, look at me cleaning. I was highlighting along the way. Anyway, come back to this Parkinson's disease case in the UK. When we've got to the house, like I said, I've got standards. And the first thing that I've done, clean the house, because you cannot expect wellness, a well-maintained mind in an environment that doesn't support that concept. So first thing I done as I landed, and I know he's got caretakers there, I was like, nah, this ain't good enough to work in. And for him to actually, for us to feel comfortable and for him to actually appreciate what we're doing, let's clean up the environment. I'm gonna go buy this, I'm gonna buy that, I'm gonna buy gloves, I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna clean down, we mop the floor, clean on the wall them, we clean on the door them, the doorknob them, the furniture, the dust, window. The cleaner came in and saw me doing it and she's like, so don't worry, I'm not here to take your job. I'm here to help and aid you, keep it at a level that is applicable for health and wellness. Because I'm only here for a week. So, think of us as the A team coming in to help boost what you're about. So once we get it on a level, so, okay. So no, don't worry, we're not here to take your job over. We just need to have it in an environment. And she appreciated it. And from since then, the level of cleaning and caring went up from the first day. So yeah, me being a very mindful, them kind of little stickling points, it has to be on point. A, for wellness as a whole, and for change in the right, in a positive way. The environment, I remember when I was talking with Sister Tay Tula earlier on in the year on the series. We've done a short mini series, and one of the greatest things that she said that excuse me, that resonated was set it and leave it. Your environment, set it away and leave it. That make sure that your environment is empowering you towards the right connotation of change and growth, because your environment can pull you away from that. If you negate your environment would actually start eating away at you. It will start working against your better self. So, outside of just in maintaining the environment, setting it away that influences growth, influences inspiration as a whole is really key. Now, the other thing about that solo retreat, they had him on the third floor of this old building. I don't know. Those buildings are supposed to get knocked down. I don't know how long. But he's on the third floor with no lift in the building. And I've got to be up and down those stairs at least 4 times a day. So I'm getting up at 5, 6 ladies, preparing myself out through the door in Aliquid, British Court. Get to his place. I can't even sit down. I'm not sitting down for the whole day. No sitting down. Kitchen, this, that, treatment, boom, bang, ding, bang, ding, that. Okay, I'll go and get that. Sit down. Why hasn't he got any of this? His kitchen was I don't know what the carer's done to his kitchen, but we literally rebuilt his kitchen, got new pots and pans to cook, everything in there was bun up. We had to set it away that wellness can actually manifest in the place. And yeah, so we wasn't just running out for the sake of it. All the little things that wasn't aiding the situation or taking away from the situation, I was literally that duty manager to, or that the one to actually pull off that part. Okay, Sister Letitia, you rest, you just watch over him and da da da. This time, give him this da 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 da. I'll go on. When I come back, take a break, right? I'll take over, feed him, do this treatment, bam, bam, diddy, dun, dun, dun. Gonna again. You hungry? All right, I'll go and get a slice. Okay, da, 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 da. Listen, by the time the retreat was finished, I had stair phobia. I didn't even want to look at stairs. I never want to know nothing about stairs. My legs, them just had ton in a jelly. They didn't even want to move. Literally, my legs was gone, gone. So I had to really come back to Portugal. Normally we go on walks. We had 8 people out, 6 other people out here. It was Sister Michelle's birthday. We had such a beautiful time out here. Some of Letitia's family members was also out here, and for a week we enjoyed their presence. But I couldn't even keep up with all the going out and walking up and down. My legs, I was out. I said, "I don't go on. Sarah, I can't join you. My legs, them I can't work. They not work. They needed the rest, and so glad I took the rest. I needed the rest. I absolutely needed the rest. There weren't no. It was a prerequisite. It was essential to rest, and within that resting period, that contemplation of, okay, just like the seasons, just like everything that we've discussed. The next big thing to come up that's on the agenda is the 12 days of consciousness, which comes up next month. Instead of the 12 days of Christmas, it's the 12 days of consciousness. And that addresses change and growth in a big way. Now, the level of contemplation, after the family left and so forth, and it's just us two now, we're really now just taking time to rest and recuperate and just look out the trail of outcomes that we have created from since we started. We started back in 2019, 2018, 2019 with the online courses. And those courses were built around the inner self, how to hold your vibration from an inner perspective so you don't get sick, so you don't fall off the edge, for you, so you don't come out of a space of bliss, how to maintain and support that bliss. And what has happened over the years, nothing wrong with it. It's called growth. We're slowly, well, now we're doing solo. We've done the solo retreat with Parkinson's disease. So that is like we've come from an inner place to the most extreme external type of case to deal with from a neurological disorder point of view, and managed to create healing, bring it back into a level of remission so he can have some cohesiveness and relate to himself and relate to the inner using at the core the same tools plus additional formulas and stuff that I've now learned and embraced. Again, there was a big interjection with the CBD and all things natural retreat, looking at the Ayurvedic principles of CBD and so forth, because it's a very powerful, misunderstood, misused herb, and a extremely powerful. Again, there are pharmaceutical wars against it. There's vilification. There's so much, and looking at what it can do on the ground level just to support your physical and metaphysical and your internal well-being state. You know, whether it's CBD, whether it's so forth, it's been a massive learning curve to see how supportive that could be on many levels, especially in the process of healing, and also opening the doors to understand a deeper level other medicines that are in alignment with health and well-being. So we've come out of the space of just meditation, and we've now taken on this whole holistic approach, including the academy that we've built and started, and including the festival which we've put together for 2026. Now, the back end of the festival is really about, it's a seed operation to create the funds to create a health center. We actually want to create a 24/7 health center where people actually come and not just stay for a week. If they need to stay for a month, for 3 months, and so forth, and concentrate on acute illnesses, we want to be able to set up an Ayurvedic stroke holistic health center within the next year to 2 years, and really focus on bringing dynamic aspects of health within the community. Also, working alongside Pempamsi on the last retreat has opened so many doors to growth. It's actually given me a new interjection of life into a company that I started just before I started Transcending Matters. Now, this is when I was in the UK before I moved to Portugal. And that company was called ABC Call Out, Advanced Biometric Call Out. And I was out to I actually got the scanners. I got the scanners, and I was going to get a group of people, pick them up with scanners, send them out into the field for the people that who can't move or unable to move, deliver a service of not just the scanning, but also, again, creating a support system where they can get the medicines or whatever that they need, what the scan highlights for them to aid and assist in their wellness and so forth. Now getting with Pempamsi, the synergy of what we saw transpire at the last retreat has opened so many doors for, again, collaborations and growth. And we are now walking down that path. So ABC call out is going to come to life, or advanced biometric call out service. That is definitely an arm that Transcending Matters is going to be investing in 2026. Also, looking at that trailblazer of things that we've done over the last 5 years, from 2019 to 20 now, coming into our sixth, maybe seventh year of operation, and it's just been me and Sister Letitia at the core. We now really see the importance of the growth because we have expanded ourselves so much. Even looking at the growth of Sister Letitia over the years, it's been such a beautiful process to watch. The first year, I couldn't even get her on camera. Now, the last Nexus Essentia that we done, she gave me a big surprise. She shut the whole thing down, big surprise, take the mic, big speech, and blah, blah. And I'm standing there like, oh my God, what? She's turned a whole empire within herself. And to see that growth has been absolutely phenomenal. So, where we are now is realizing we actually need more people to come on board because the program is becoming, the programs, there's more people coming. So we want to have a bigger inner sanctum crew, especially when it comes to doing overseas programs and so forth, and also with the academy, whether it's social media, whether it's technology, whether it's administration, whether it's influencing, whether it's a practitioner, whatever skills you have that can work alongside either networking or under the Transcending Matters umbrella, we want to talk with you. We want to expand, we want to grow, we want to create a big network of an inner sanctum team that can echo the resonance of what Transcending Matters has stood for over the years. Again, I'm willing to train, mentor, so forth. Even if you want to come out to Portugal and spend some time to see get down to the nitty gritty of the things, the door's wide open. We want to get involved with making the team bigger, making growth happen from that corner shop concept, or just me and Letitia trying to do this massive thing. We've done so great over the years to bring it what it is, but it's time to grow. It's seriously time to go to bring on more competent people or more people that are enthusiastic about helping and aiding others. Because the greatest thing, when we see the results that it actually transpires, it's the greatest feeling in the world when you can see someone coming from a broken space to a whole wellness of resonance and full of bliss, full of joy, full of laughter, and full of gusto for life and ready to commit and grow and connect back with that inner sense of being. So life can be worthwhile living with that concept of loving to live and living to love, and not just living under doubt and staying trapped in the cupboard of negativity. So when we see these outcomes, it's a powerful thing. I think it's the most relevant thing to be doing in this century, in this time, because not only is there a lack of the essence of love, life's optimum vibratory energy, there's a lack of willingness to be in that space, and anything that we can do to bring, because that is the norm. We don't want to work with the new norm, which is be broken, stay negative. That's not a fashion. That is not in the construct or in the confinements of evolution for consciousness, spirit, whatever you want to call it. That's backwards going. And again, the concept of future proof thing is coming out of alienation, learning how to build on a communal level. It is key. It is so key. So that resonance of future proofing, we now find ourselves in that very same thing where we have to now address that for ourselves here at Transcending Matters. And we have to grow. We have to grow in terms of the team, the inner sanctum members, these last 2 years, we have shocked ourselves with how much we can actually commit to actually doing, executing well. and following through. So we've maxed out. We really have maxed out from starting from again from doing internal work, doing morning meditations to now dealing with uh, patients with severe cases such as Parkinson's disease. And it's not to say that we just don't want to cut off or just say, no, we don't want to do it again. We've actually created formulas, packages, and written down explicitly what we've done so people can get access to these programs at tier levels, whether they want to do it for themselves at home or whether they want assistance in having other modalities. We want to create that team that, again, if we get a call for 3 or 4 more solo retreats in the UK, it doesn't necessarily mean that we have to be running to the UK to administer them. Once the formula's there and we have a team that could take that work on and deliver that under the Transcending Matters same formula doesn't, you know, once everything's formula based and you can just follow that formula and watch the outcomes and so forth. Plus, you've also got ourselves at the core. And even Basil, who is a great mind when it comes to medicines and so forth and insights, again, that the level and the quality of his products, I've found them to be of extremely high value, authentic, and everything that I've used or engaged with. Even for myself, I've got some things from Pempamsi myself, just from me, to aid in my wellness, and I can see and feel the difference within my own being. So that at the moment, because I think he's got about 15,000 products, under his belt, 4,000 on the website. So, and he's a man that travels to get his, he has to go to Ghana, Jamaica, where he will travel to make sure that that source of holistic medicines that is going is on point. So, and I like that. I like that very much. It's got a lot of authenticity about the way how the product comes together. And again, the level of care that that man has, that I've seen how he operates when he's dealing with people in his consultations or clients or so forth. And again, if they have trouble with or even doubt in what he's saying with the medicines and so forth, he's got that heart to say, well, look, take the medicine and try it. And if you feel better, then let me know. And if you want to pay for it, let me know. And someone who's willing to do that really does speak volumes within itself. So it feels like a very trusted space to deal with. Minimizes a lot of things. And again, within our own Black community, it's another powerful synergetic move. So again, it will also aid in that core idea of expansion. So the more formulas that we come together with now, just to give you a quick insight, the growth idea, you've heard me talk about this festival concept. And the festival really is about building funds so Transcending Matters can actually build a health center. We actually want to build a health center, not just another retreat space, but a health center that if people need to come in there to check in for more than a week, could be 3 weeks, could be a month, could be 6 weeks, 3 months, to aid in acute cases so they can come in and make sure that when they come in and when they leave, there's a full process of. Now, these are the words that people don't like to use. And I'm going to say a full process of bringing a uh, illness into remission. Yeah. And keeping it there so that it's no longer present. Now, you can call it healed and you can call it cured. But just for the sake of or staying away from entanglement. So great things are being planned for the future, and we want people to come on board now so we can foster a great community, a great family of healers, family of mindset that is aiding towards helping the community grow in so many different concepts, whether it's through health, well-being, conscious management, the academy. There's so many areas. So just to recap, change, growth, it's key, it's important. The amount of growth that we've gone through over the last 5 years, it's tremendous, and it's time to grow the team, and it's time to future proof the concept of the team with all the areas that we want to delve into and contribute. So if you've got anything that you have in mind that you can contribute, whether it's, again, like I said, technological, social media, influence, yoga teacher, assistance, administration, whatever you feel you can do to build the team, we are interested in hearing from you. So get in contact with us. Pop over to the website, transcendingmatters.com, and contact us through the contact form. Even leave a message either on our WhatsApp group, email us at transcendingmatters@gmail.com. Leave a note. We will get back to you and let's see what we can do. So what have we got coming up? Like I said, the next big thing is the 12 days of consciousness. Instead of the 12 days of Christmas, the 12 days of consciousness. It's a powerful course, a game changer. We've done this course last year. We've been doing this course steadily over the last few years. And this course in particular, I've done it last year. It's a deep dive on inner shadow work, things that don't work, things that you can do better with. Now, we done a real deep dive last year and covered wrote a booklet of improvements that could be done, taking on the concept of the New Year resolution, do a whole 12-day study and deep dive, meditation, so forth, goal setting, and so forth. Now, to be truthful, I haven't had a lot of opportunity to look into the book that I wrote those things in, and I've just opened the book recently. Now, looking at what we're going to do for the next one, and lo and behold, there's many things that I've actually addressed on an unconscious level because I actually wrote it down and planted the seed. That I can now look at it and say, oh, I did do that. I did achieve that. I did. So the idea of doing that deep dive now and giving that massive level of watering literally puts you on an unconscious level to address these things throughout the year. So it's been a marvelous pleasure coming up with this course. It's very much in alignment with ancient knowledge per se and practices, even understanding the fullness of Stonehenge. Again, Diwali. There's a 12-day build up towards Diwali, and similarly, there's a 12-day build up to what happens at Stonehenge, and that again is a crossover from solstice to solstice, and a very important one, a very conscious one, and it's a beautiful thing to get into just for yourself. It doesn't mean that you're following a cult or following an elite group, but it's elite-minded people that actually do these things and tend to these issues at such a high level that it influences how they move. And I can say that all of these little things, these little nuggets, they're big nuggets, but little time, 12 days out of 365 days for the year. You take 12 days out to really go in and address you instead of getting tied up into the commercial foolishness that Christmas offers and pulls you out of your vibratory ability to actually to perform well in the. There's a reason why they call it Boxing Day. There's a reason why people fail at keeping up their New Year's resolution, and primarily is because they've been pulled out of alignment energetically, conscientiously, and also timingly. So if you're late, you're always playing catch up. If you're ahead, you're ahead. And it's imperative to stay ahead. Don't just try and keep catching up with what's going on. Find a way to be ahead of the curve. And that's one of our kind of center point of growth. And it's going to be a brilliant course again coming up this year. 12 days of consciousness. Check out that information on the website. That'll be live soon to for you to sign up for that course. Also, Vital Nature, All Things Natural Retreat is now, the dates are now set for April the 11th to the 18th, 2026. The dates for Revitalize and Thrive retreats have also been set. Also, the academic 3-day weekend courses out here in Portugal has been set. There is so much to get into for 2026, much less the 12 days of consciousness, much less. And the 12 days of consciousness is like an insurance policy for growth. If you really want to grow, get on that course, 12 days of consciousness. It's a very powerful shadow work course where you go in and you really address things that are working, not working on every level, not just on mental, not just physical, but so much other levels. So very powerful course. Look out for that. And again, in closing, if you've got any information or any skill that you want to bring underneath the Transcending Matters umbrella, please contact us at transcendingmatters@gmail.com or pop over to the website, leave us some information, leave us a message. We'll find the message and we will get back to you. So we're looking for growth. We're looking for expansion. It's a necessity and we're looking forward to doing it with you. So beautiful people, stay bold, stay beautiful, and stay on the best side of being you. Hit that like and subscribe button and tell your friends and family, and look out for more talks coming back on the Too Much to Talk About channel. I'm back. Great time done. Time to get in at the work. Also, I'm going to be starting a morning meditation program also very shortly, starting next week, to come and join me, because I really do love my morning meditation programs. I've actually missed it a little bit in doing it with everyone. It's really a magical experience when you do it with people. So again, I'm going to be picking that up next week. Look out for that information. Let's get busy. Let's grow. Stay on the best side of being you. Ashe.